So I'm going to just go in. This Nintendo Direct for Mario Kart Tour was completely garbage. It was terrible. They didn't explain anything. But wait, you know what? Maybe they did explain it. It just didn't justify the price or make me feel comfortable with paying the 80 bucks. Now, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, like, maybe it's going to be something that's added in there. Maybe it's going to be a little bit more, this, that, and the other. But it wasn't a selling point for me, right? Now, I'm not really a Mario Kart fan like that, but to have that open world free roam experience, I was going to expect more. And when they went into detail to kind of show like what you can do in the free roam and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, no, like this is nothing. Like I'm be honest with you, that's kind of like a bare minimum type of addition for what you guys gave. The world seems like it's beautiful because they pay attention to detail, especially when it comes down to Mario Kart. I've seen that since Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But in this instance right here, I didn't really see much in the free roam world to be like, yeah, man, this is going to be great. Because once you've kind of visited every place through races and free roam, what is there really to do? I mean, yeah, you can go and find coins, you can do this, you can do that, but there's not really any type of like interactions with the open world to make you go out and want to stay in it, whether solo or with friends. I don't really have friends that I play with online like that. As I've gotten older, I've kind of, went more so into a solo, or may have one or two possibly. But to go on here and take photos with them, or, stop at the burger shop just to change my clothes and things of that sort, that's not really anything that I care about. I am very adamant about a game growing with its audience. This game came out in the early 90s on a Super Nintendo. It was a major hit because it hit every console moving forward. So as the audience has gotten older, one thing that should have increased should have been the maturity of this game as well. And this is something they could have gave us, not only just making this game for kids, but also making it for adults as well. And we just didn't get that, or at least I didn't see that. I seen some people in the chat that was like, charge more for the game. I love the game. The game is awesome, this, that, and the other. I don't know who was watching it. I don't know if it was a kid. I don't know if it was an adult who was putting that, but the main thing I kept seeing was drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. And I couldn't argue with it, right? I stood my ground for what it was that I could stand on, but to this degree and this level, bro, it is terrible. They did a horrible job at explaining why this game is 80 bucks. And I understand people's concern moving forward, like, hey man, we don't want to be charged $80 for games moving forward. People had a large issue and problem with paying 70 bucks moving forward. I think 60 is a decent enough cap. But in all honesty, I don't think that the game should really cost anything more than 50 bucks. That's not just for this game. That's for every game that comes out. I don't think that's a line or a barrier that should be able to be crossed or broken when it comes down to charging for these games. So even in the area of like accessories and controllers, like the controller prices are getting out of control. The only one that I would say I'm sort of okay with understanding, not justifying it or thinking it's okay, would be the PS5 controller. That's because they've added so many different features to that controller, man, where it literally feels like it's new technology when you get it, not just in design, but also in a type of amenity as well, or amenities as well. But back to the game, it was a no for me. An easy no. Easy no. After watching this video, it completely killed the honeymoon phase for me. I mean, it went out the window. Everything that I stood on, like, hey, look, man, I'm okay with the 450 price tag. I get the generation that we're in, or the timing that we're in for technology and the increase in prices and this, that, and the other. That's where I was. But after watching this, man, I had a guy that commented on my video, and he put a nice lengthy, you know, areas of topic for debate. And I just responded to bruh and I said, look, after watching this Nintendo Direct, I can't defend Nintendo for anything. It's all just a money grab, right? You're saying that you're basing these games prices off of like the experience and what the game has to offer. And the question is, who makes that decision? Apparently it's the company and not the consumer that makes that. But we're going to go on here, we're going to complain about what we don't like and what we're not doing and this, that, and the other, unless we're willing to congregate or come together collectively to be like, look, we're not buying the game. They're going to have no choice but to lower the price, right? That's the power of the consumer. But how many of us are really willing to make that stand to a degree where it's actually effective, where they're not going to be able to release these games at these prices because they know that they're not going to sell? That's where the issue really comes in at. So if we're not willing to really come together and make a stand on this, they're going to continue to get away with this robbery and what they're doing. We've seen this from definitely the PS5 and Xbox Series X generation of consoles, which is basically the modern consoles now, that, you know, you guys are charging all these money for these devices and for these games, but we're not getting the experience that we get with like the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 3 era, even the PlayStation 4 era. It's just kind of been slow motion. So now you guys come out with this and you want to continue to increase the price while giving us the bare minimum. And that's something that I'm just not comfortable with. So I see the concerns that many people have, and it's one that I have for myself. This was another reason why I was excited and happy to get into PC gaming, because there is a lot of games on there, good games, older games, new games, or newer games rather, where you can get discounted prices. And I barely pay full price for any game that I play. I always catch some type of sale and have stocked my library with games. And I get the value of this game with the DLC included and all of the experience, and I don't have to pay full price for it. Right? So that has been a more satisfied way of me gaming rather than waiting for these new games to come out. They're not finished or they're not worth the money. And they're continuously doing this, only adding disappointment or reducing the fun factor from us as a consumer by, purchasing these games and just not getting what it is that we want from them. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The gamer in me is going to buy this console and this game, right? Even looking at the game, it's massive, right? Like the worlds seem like they're largely open and more expanded than it is from Mario Kart 8, at least from my perspective. Now, mind you, I wasn't really a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe fan. I own the game and I played it, but this one seems like it's a bit more. So maybe the experience is going to be different once we get our hands on it, where it's going to have a high replay value. That's going to be something that saves the game to a degree, but still doesn't justify the $80 price tag. If you would have partnered it with a season pass or more characters or more free, update releases and things of that sort to kind of justify the lifespan of this game and that $10 increase, then I can see that. But the new features that they added in here, like rail grinding or something like that, to be able to, jump on the wall and, flip off, like those things don't really impress me as an older gamer. Maybe if I was a younger kid, just maybe, but it's just not enough and it's not a selling point. Like eating food and changing costumes wasn't really a diehard moment for me either. So that's another one that I got to pass on. Carrying around a food tray with Luigi just wasn't a new thing for me either. There's just so many things that it just didn't hold up to. But like I said, maybe once we get our hands on it and we play it, we'll be like, you know what? Okay, I can see why it was $80. I find that hard to believe, but I'm trying to be somewhat optimistic about it. And, but it's just hard after seeing what they gave us when we gave them the opportunity, or they gave themselves the opportunity through the direct to be able to explain to us this $80, and they failed miserably. So with that being said, I just wanted to go on here, man, and I had to speak my piece about this because I was truly bothered by what it is that I seen and wanted to share with you guys. So down in the comment section below, let me know how you guys feel, what you guys think pertaining to this, and we can chop it up from there. So with that being said, it's your boy. Oh no, not another reviewer, and I'm out.